Namaste, friends. My name is Amit Garg. Welcome to my channel, Ganesha-Hanuman.com. Today, we'll talk about Venus's transit through the sign of Scorpio. It's going to be a very intense period emotionally. So that's going to be from December 24th or 25th in India through January 18th. So roughly about 3 weeks period, a lot of emotional intensity, emotional drama possible, sexual intensity, possessiveness, jealousy, but also a lot of secrets may be revealed, manipulation, things like that. So a lot of recommendations for each rising sign or Rashi. So you can watch the video for both your Lagna, the rising sign, as well as your Rashi, the moon sign. So we'll look at all the 12 signs one by one. Before that, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So let's see. First of all, we'll see for Aries rising. So this is how the chart looks like. So we have number one sign, Aries. Okay, so it could be Aries Lagna, which is the rising sign, or could be Aries Rashi, which is the moon sign. So we're talking about Venus in the sign of Scorpio for these 23, 24 days, December 24th through January 18th. See, Venus is a feminine planet, right? They say men are from Mars and women are from Venus. So Venus, of course, represents women, and Scorpio is ruled by Mars. So in a way, Mars and Venus conjunction, you can say. So this chart is for December 25th. Actually, Mars is going to move ahead over to Sagittarius on December 27th. So we're not talking about Mars and Venus together throughout this period. We're only looking at the transit of Venus through the sign of Scorpio. So what that means. So Venus for Aries sign is the ruler of the second house and the seventh house. Okay, so these are both Maraka houses. You know, Maraka. It's they could be difficult, and so the ruler of the second house and the ruler of the seventh house is sitting in the eighth house. So this is your eighth house where Venus is placed, right? So in general, first of all, Venus in Scorpio, Scorpio is a very steamy sign. A lot of hidden things, hidden emotions, hidden passion, hidden aggression, also even. And so the planet Venus is pleasure. Venus is relationships. Venus is sexual energy. So all of that in the eighth house of change and transformation for Aries rising. For Aries rising, the eighth house is ruled by Mars, which is the Lagna Lord. So Venus is sitting in the eighth house. Absolutely, very, very intense period. A lot of change, transformation at a very deep level. You may develop deep connections with other people, but be careful about any kind of secret manipulation or secrets might be revealed with respect to your family, which is the second house, or with respect to your relationships, one-on-one relationships. So a very intense period. But Venus in the eighth house, though, gives you a lot of access to hidden wisdom, secrets of the universe, occult sciences. Venus in eighth house is a classic combination for a healer. So this 3-week period is excellent for Aries sign people to start learning some esoteric wisdom, occult sciences. If you're already into that field, just focus on your work. You'll gain insights, you'll gain deep insights about the workings of the universe. So great time for energy healing, for going deep in spirituality. And that may actually lead to change and transformation in your spiritual path. But otherwise, I mean, on a material level, there's possibility of a lot of change, transformation in your relationships or with respect to your family. And be careful about too much like emotional drama, too much of sexual intensity, too much of scheming or secrets or manipulation going on. But very creative time. Venus will give you access to the depths where you can create something that may change and transform your consciousness, you yourself or others. So give birth. I mean, eighth house is, it's like the depth of the ocean, bottom of the ocean. So you can literally bring the pearls of wisdom, and you can give birth to something underneath and then bring it to light. So excellent time for all of that spiritual work, deep healing work. But be careful about emotions and this relationship drama that might be possible. So that is for Aries sign. So we're talking about Venus in Scorpio. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So next we'll talk about Taurus sign. So this applies to both Taurus Lagna, which is the rising sign, or Taurus Rashi, which is the moon sign. So we're talking about Venus in Scorpio during this about 3-week period, December 24th through January 18th. So let's see. So this is number 2 sign, which is Taurus, and you could be Taurus rising or you could be Taurus Rashi. And Venus is sitting in the 7th house. You see here, 7th house of relationship. And in this case, for Taurus people, Venus is, of course, the Lagna Lord and the 6th house Lord. So a very, very important transit, because your Lagna Lord or your Rashi Lord, which is Venus, we're talking about the transit of your Lagna Lord or the Rashi Lord in the 7th house of Scorpio. Okay, so entire focus will be on relationships, because your Lord of the first house is sitting in the 7th house. So wherever the Lord of the first house goes, your entire focus, your intellect, your thinking mind is always kind of occupied, preoccupied with that area of life. So your relationships will be on your mind. You'll spend a lot of time dealing with relationships or thinking about it, or just being with your partner, just doing things together with your partner. So it doesn't have to be it doesn't mean anything bad. It could be something good. You both are creating something. And now Venus in Scorpio. Scorpio is a very deep hidden sign of secrets and change and transformation, similar qualities to the 8th house. And then Venus is the planet of passion and love and romance and relationships and all of that. So very high intensity of emotional drama possible in your relationships, or or you may actually develop very, very deep connections with other people. So that's what you need to focus on. Nurture your connections with other people at a very, very deep level. Scorpio is like the bottom of the ocean. Okay, so there's no, no limit to how deep you can go. Okay, so Venus in Scorpio in 7th house means you want to dive deep into your relationships. Stay away from any manipulation or secrets or scheming going on around relationships or around yourself or around your work, people who work for you. So that's the caution. And also don't get carried away with all of the passion and sexuality, and there'll be a lot of attraction towards other people, but you can focus on the hidden wisdom, the occult sciences. This is a good time to study some occult sciences with your partner. So bring that spiritual aspect into your relationships. Then it'll be very, very fruitful. But these 3 weeks, absolutely fantastic to dive deep into spiritual sciences, into occult sciences, if possible, along with your partner. So that is Venus in Scorpio for Taurus sign. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So the next we'll see Gemini sign. So this applies to both Gemini rising, which is the Lagna, or Gemini moon sign, which is the Rashi. So you see here, number 3 sign is Gemini. And of course, Venus is in your 6th house in the sign of Scorpio. Okay, so in this case, for Gemini, Venus is 12th house ruler and the 5th house ruler. Okay, so that's the full picture. So we're talking about Venus, transit of Venus in Scorpio from December 24th through January 18th. And this is all as per Vedic zodiac, the sidereal zodiac. So Venus in Scorpio in general, lots of change, transformation, intensity of emotions, very, very deep connections, and there might be some secrets that may be revealed, manipulation going on, sexual intensity, magnetic attraction. Now, what we want to focus on is for Gemini sign, Lagna or Rashi, Venus will be in your sixth house. Okay, so sixth house it represents the enemies also. Enemies. So here there may be very careful, with respect to any scheming or manipulation or things going on with people who are not friendly with you. Okay, so there may be some things going on. People may be scheming or secrets may be revealed, some manipulation going on against you by your enemies. So be very careful. Don't get carried away. Don't trust people, blindly. Second thing is, this sixth house is the house of your work, profession, the job that you do, 9 to 5 job usually. So careful about any hidden things at your workplace, any secrets or manipulation going on at your workplace. Okay. Sixth house is also our health. So excellent time to dive deep into the healing aspects. So because Venus in Scorpio is very, very deep hidden wisdom. You may have access to healing energies, healing sciences, occult sciences, all of that. So make use of that, start some health routine, dive deep into the healing work, if as a profession or just for you or for your friends also. So that's what you can focus on. And second thing you can focus on is helping other people through healing, through health activities, through volunteer things. So that's sixth house. Now, this also Venus is also the fifth ruler and the 12th house ruler. So 12th house, there may be some losses or expenses. So be careful about that for Gemini people, because 12th house ruler in the sixth house, in the hidden sign of Scorpio. So there may be some like secret or unforeseen expenses you may have to encounter. So remedy for that is give some donation before even that thing happens. So that'll take care of the karmic losses that you were supposed to have. And then also the fifth house ruler is in the sixth house. So start some health routines with your children. And absolutely fantastic time for doing creative work. Fifth house is all about creativity, and Venus in Scorpio is hidden things and deep connections and deep healing, hidden wisdom. So all of that. Be very creative and give birth to something new. That's something very creative with respect to healing or spiritual wisdom or occult sciences. You can do that with your children or with your romantic partner as well. That's the fifth house matters. So that's Venus in Scorpio for for Gemini sign. Now, also you see the Venus is in trines to Rahu, so that will actually exaggerate the qualities of Venus in Scorpio. So be very careful about any secretive manipulation. Okay. So next is Cancer sign, Cancer rising sign. If your Lagna is Cancer, or if your moon sign or Rashi is Cancer, this applies to you. So let's see what's happening. So this is number 4 sign, Cancer, and we're talking about the transit of Venus in the sign of Scorpio. Okay, that's going to take place from December 24th through January 18th. So for Cancer sign, Venus is going to be in your 5th house in the sign of Scorpio, number 8. And Venus is the ruler of your 11th house and your 4th house. Okay, so it's a very interesting combination. First of all, Venus in Scorpio in general, very, very deep sign. Scorpio is it's like the bottom of the ocean. So a lot of deep emotions and secrets and manipulation and passion and all of that is going on. But all of that in the 5th house of romance and romantic partners. So there could be a lot of like sexual attraction towards other people. You may actually have a lot of kind of, relationships like that, opportunities for that. But also at the same time, this is a good time to develop some very deep connections, not just like superficial, not just for sexual attraction, but very deep, meaningful connections with people. You may find some romantic partner who who is very deep, and then channel that into some hidden wisdom, learn occult sciences together, learn some spiritual work, be very creative. So this is fifth house, is this house of creativity. So create something very magical, very, very mystical, very, very, something that's of deep value and connection and like hidden wisdom. So create something with a spiritual foundation, with your spiritual partner, with your romantic partner, or with your children. Fifth house is your children also. So all of those themes, all of these things connected with your children or with your romantic partner. And also it's the fourth house ruler sitting in the fifth house. So your mother or your place of residence comes into picture as well. Now, be cautious. I mean, of course, it's not going to be all excellent and positive. So there may be a lot of emotional drama with respect to your romantic partner, with respect to your children, or with your mother, or with your friends also. That's the 11th house. Okay. So very, very careful. Stay away from any kind of emotional drama. Stay away from any secrets or manipulation going on. I mean, be careful about that, and don't, fuel the fire. Don't add fuel to the fire. Do not participate in any kind of like secrets going on, or going around, or manipulation going on with you or with anybody else. So stay away from that. Very, very important. But there may be like, instant attraction towards a lot of people, because Rahu is also in trine. So Rahu is illusion. So be careful, when you choose a romantic partner. So all of that, a lot of caution, but excellent time for being creative. Give birth to something very profound spiritually, and beautiful. And that's very deep, because Scorpio is is like the bottom of the ocean. You can bring pearls of wisdom from the bottom of the ocean. So that's going to be the theme. Do not post things, too much stuff on social media that's not of meaning. Okay, so no like general like, don't reveal anything on social media, because there'll be a lot of secrets and manipulation and going on. So you don't want to add to that. Keep your desires in check as well, because 11th house is our desires. And so Venus trines to Rahu in the sign of Scorpio may actually give you like excessive desires, especially around sexuality, around partners, around could be around children also, because it's Venus is sitting in the 11th lord is sitting in the fifth house of children. So that's the summary for Cancer signs. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So next we'll talk about Leo sign, the sign of Leo. Let's see here. So number 5 sign, that's Leo. And Venus is sitting in your fourth house. Venus is transiting through your fourth house in the sign of Scorpio. So this applies to both rising sign Leo as well as moon sign Leo. So if your Lagna is Leo, or if your Rashi is Leo, this applies to you. And then also Venus is, of course, the ruler of 10th house and the third house. So we'll talk about all of that. So we're talking about the transit of Venus in Scorpio from December 24th through January 18th. These are the general, indications of Venus in Scorpio, and we'll talk specifically for Leo sign as well. So let's see, Venus is transiting through your fourth house. Fourth house is our deep emotions. Anyway, fourth house is our inner happiness. And being a Scorpio, it gives an extra, dimension to that. A very, very deep, sort of like, finding out what gives you true happiness. Going to the depths of your heart. Fourth house is also our heart, our mother, place of residence. Going very, very deep and find out what makes you happy. What's the purpose of all of this? There could also be some, emotional drama going on with respect to your mother, or at your home in general, or with respect to your siblings, or at your work or profession also. So that's the big caution. Venus in Scorpio may give you a lot of like, emotions, intense, deep emotions, and drama, and excessive of all of that. And especially because Venus is in trines to Rahu as well. Okay, so Rahu exaggerates everything that it comes into contact with. So it could be a lot of passion and attraction and things like that. But there could be like anger bubbling up, that's Scorpio. So Venus will actually make things worse with trines to Rahu. But otherwise, a good time to do some deep cleansing, deep spiritual work. Find out the pearls of wisdom at the bottom of the ocean. That's Scorpio. Okay, so that you may actually have access to a lot of hidden wisdom during this time. Excellent time to dive deep into some occult sciences, study some spiritual subjects. That you could do that from your home, and you could also do that with your mother or with your siblings. That's Venus in Scorpio for the sign of Leo. So next we'll talk about the sign of Virgo. So this is the sign of Virgo. So we're talking about Venus in the sign of Scorpio. So this is number 6 sign, Virgo. If you're Virgo rising, which is Virgo Lagna, or if you have Moon in Virgo, that's Virgo Rashi, this applies to you. So we're talking about the transit of Venus through the sign of Scorpio from December 24th through January 18th. And as you can see, Venus is sitting in the 3rd house for Virgo sign, and 3rd house in Scorpio. And Venus is the ruler of your 2nd house and your 9th house, right? So that's the full picture. So Venus in Scorpio in general, it's a very, very, deep, Scorpio is a very deep sign. So Venus in Scorpio, kind of combination of Venus and Mars. They say women are from Venus and men are from Mars. So there that masculine and feminine energy coming together. It's a lot of could be a lot of sexual energy, a lot of secrets and connections and passion and manipulation, intense emotions. So all of that is possible. But for Virgo, Venus is in the 3rd house. And 3rd house is our siblings, our communication, our courage. So there may be a lot of like emotional drama with your siblings or with your family or with your father, because 9th house is father, 2nd house is family, and Venus is sitting in the 3rd house. All of that energy combined together, possibility of some, or you may actually develop some very deep connection so it need not be negative. It could be very positive thing that you may develop a very, very solid, deep connection with either with your siblings or with your family or with your father. And that deep connection could have a good spiritual foundation, because Venus in Scorpio gives you access to the hidden wisdom, pearls at the bottom of the ocean. That is Scorpio. So you may discover, spiritual wisdom. You may dive deep into occult sciences with your siblings or with your family or with your father. Okay, so that's what's a good possibility. But stay away from any kind of secrets or manipulation or all of that stuff going on under the surface, right? With respect to your siblings or family or father. Other than that, also be careful with your communication and marketing and journaling. All of that stuff is 3rd house. So don't be too emotional in your communications that you send out. And then also 3rd house is our courage, and Venus in Scorpio, you may actually feel like super courageous, but you want to do that in a Venusian way. So that means in a very gentle way. Don't get too carried away with emotions. Same thing. So that's transit of Venus in Scorpio for the sign of Virgo. So next we'll talk about Libra. So if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So now we're talking about Libra. Let me mark it. So this is number 7 sign, Libra. So we're talking about the transit of Venus in the sign of Scorpio from December 24th through January 18th. And for Libra sign, Venus will be transiting through your 2nd house in Scorpio. So this is for both either your Libra rising, which is Lagna, or Libra moon sign, which is Rashi. Okay, so this applies to you both. And for Libra, of course, Venus is the Lagna Lord and the 8th Lord, right? So very, very important and key transit from December 24th or 25th in India through January 18th. So Venus and Scorpio in general, that's like a combination of Mars and Venus, because Mars rules Scorpio and Venus. So they say, men are from Mars and Venus, women are from Venus. So it's a combination of masculine energy and feminine energy. So a lot of possibility, a lot of like sexual energy, secrets, intense emotions, a lot of drama, deep, very deep connections. And on the negative sense, that could mean a lot of like possessiveness. And then, there could be attraction towards other people, passion, and but also it give you the depth of wisdom that is Venus in Scorpio. So it's taking place in your second house. Okay, so there may be some emotional drama with your family or within your family. Also, you may actually have a very deep voice, a very powerful, meaningful, intense voice. So instead of focusing on intense emotions and like sexual connections and secrets and manipulation and possessiveness, you can turn that around into positive, like very intense and deep speech or words that connect people at a very deep level. So excellent time for orator for basically expressing your deep emotions and deep, and then making deep connections with other people through your voice. Okay, and then also because this is the ruler of the first house, the Lagna Lord or the Rashi Lord. We're talking about that's Venus. So Lagna Lord or Rashi Lord sitting in the second house and in a very powerful Scorpio sign, which has deep emotions and deep connections and deep hidden wisdom. All of that, you can bring that to surface in a very Venusian manner, like a very sweet and refined kind of speech. So that's, to me, that's the biggest recommendation. That's how you can use this energy in a very, very positive way. And it's also the 8th house ruler sitting in the second house. So that's a lot of change and transformation. All of that is 8th house. And anyway, 8th house is hidden wisdom and occult sciences, all of that. So 8th house anyway is activated because it's the 8th ruler we're talking about. And then 8th sign, which is Scorpio, is activated, Venus in Scorpio. So very, very big dose of 8th house energy, which is change, transformation. Could be also money from other people, so you can focus on more client work and things like that. But caution is to stay away from any kind of emotional drama, like instant attractions and a lot of passion and possessiveness, all of that. So and stay away from absolutely stay away from any kind of manipulation yourself, or if you see anything happening, just walk away from there. So that is the sign of Libra. So the transit of Venus in the sign of Scorpio for Libra. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Next, we'll talk about Scorpio. So the sign of Scorpio, whether you're Scorpio rising, which is Scorpio Lagna, or Scorpio moon sign, which is the Rashi, Scorpio Rashi. So let's see here. First of all, this is the 8th sign. So number 8 is Scorpio. And for Scorpio, of course, Venus will be transiting through your Lagna or Rashi, as the case may be. Okay. And Venus is the 12th house ruler and the 7th house ruler. So very interesting combination happening. First of all, so we're talking about Venus in Scorpio. That's going to take place from December 24th through January 18th. Venus in Scorpio, that brings together Venus energy and Mars energy. Mars is the ruler of Scorpio. So male and female, a lot of sexual intensity, a lot of emotions and drama and possible, and deep connections and secrets. 8th house and 8th sign, they're connected with secrets and transformation and change and hidden things and hidden wisdom also, all of that. So, but for Scorpio, anyway, this is happening in your first house, your Lagna or your Rashi. So becomes all the more important. This will be your focus. So any kind of, deep emotions coming to the surface, make use of those emotions and let them go. If they're negative, let them go. If they're positive, make use of them. Establish deep connection within yourself. This is happening in your first house, in your Lagna or in your Rashi. That is you, your personality, yourself. all about you. So go very deep and find out who you are, make a connection with yourself. Um, and uh, and also uh, this will give you like very deep knowledge of um, who you are, but also the secrets of the universe and things like that. Also, this is the seventh house ruler sitting in the first house, so your relationships will also be in the picture. You may actually your partner may be interested in doing some deep spiritual cleansing, or learning about hidden wisdom and occult sciences and things like that. So you may both actually work on discovering who you are together as a practice. Okay, so but careful, very, very careful about any kind of emotional drama with in your relationships, any kind of manipulation, secrets going on in your relationships. So that's the caution. And also because it's the 12th house ruler sitting in the Lagna, so there may be some kind of losses, expenses. Careful about not overspending on things that you don't need, or unforeseen expenses. And so you may actually, as a remedy, you may give some kind of donations, but big remedy is do some creative work with a spiritual foundation, learn some hidden wisdom with your partner about discovering who you are. That's the best thing to do for Scorpio. So that's Scorpio sign. We're talking about Venus in Scorpio. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And next, we'll talk about Sagittarius sign. So if your Sagittarius rising sign, which is Lagna, or if your moon is in Sagittarius, which is Rashi, okay, that will give you, so this is the chart for that. So let me just point it out. So number 9 sign, that is Sagittarius. And so in this case, we're talking about transit of Venus through the sign of Scorpio from December 24th in US and 25th in India through January 18th. So Venus is going to be transiting through your 12th house, which is sign of Scorpio. And Venus is the ruler of the 11th house and the 6th house. So that's the full picture. So for Sagittarius sign, Venus is in your 12th house. Now, Venus in Scorpio in general, a lot of deep emotions and hidden secrets and change and transformation, a lot of passion, and could be aggression also, sexual intensity, but there may be a lot of emotional drama. So first of all, because it's the 11th Lord sitting in the 12th house of Scorpio, hidden sign of Scorpio, there may be some secrets about your friends, about the social media, about also your job, or your people who work for you, that 6th house. So be careful. There may be some manipulation also going on in these areas of life. But you may actually develop some very deep connections with your friends or with people who work for you, or at your 9 to 5 job, that is 6th house. A good time to let go of a lot of things. Venus in the 8th sign, Scorpio in your 12th house. Okay, good time for pilgrimage, and going very deep in spiritual work, energy healing, astral travel, other planes of existence. All of that is 12th house, and it's the sign of Scorpio, which is very, very deep and hidden, and it's like the Scorpio is the bottom of the ocean, where you get the pearls from the bottom of the ocean, pearls of wisdom, right? Secrets, other planes of existence, all of that will be accessible to you if you try with Venus in the 8th house. And it's a combination for healing, also for self-healing and healing others. So that's Venus in the 12th house in the 8th sign of Scorpio for Sagittarius sign. So, and we're talking about Venus in Scorpio from December 24th through January 18th. So if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And next, we'll talk about Capricorn sign. So the sign of Capricorn means if your rising sign is Capricorn, that is Lagna, or if your moon sign is Capricorn, or that is if your Rashi is Capricorn, if your moon is in Capricorn, then this applies to you as well. So let's see the full picture. First of all, this is number 10 sign, Capricorn, and we're talking about Venus in the sign of Scorpio, transiting through the sign of Scorpio from December 24th through January 18th. And so Venus is going to be sitting in your, or transiting through your 11th house. And Venus is the 10th house ruler and the 5th house ruler. So to summarize, we're talking about Venus in Scorpio. Venus is transiting through your 11th house in the sign of Scorpio, and Venus is the ruler of the 10th house and the 5th house for Capricorn signs, for Capricorn Lagna or Capricorn Rashi. So Venus in Scorpio in general, very deep emotions and deep secrets and manipulation and change and sexual attraction and passion and and also occult sciences and hidden wisdom, all of that. Now for Capricorn sign, Venus is in your 11th house. So number one caution for Capricorn is keep a check on your desires. You may have a lot of sexual desires or just desires about fine things in life. That's Venus. And just expensive stuff, things like that. So second thing is there could be a lot of emotional drama when it comes to your friends or on social media or with your children also or with your profession at your work. So all of that is a possibility, but you want to channel that energy in a positive direction. So instead of participating in secrets or manipulations going on, that's with you in picture or with respect to some other people, don't participate in that, but focus on finding the secrets of the hidden wisdom. Dive deep into occult sciences with your children or with make it as a profession. I mean, that's possible. 10th Lord in the 11th house of Scorpio. And it's a great time to dive deep into spiritual work. That's the message here. And also be very creative. It's the 5th ruler we're talking about. So 5th Lord sitting in the 11th house in the sign of Scorpio. So a great time to develop some skills or create something and then help the masses with that. That's 11th house, reaching out to the masses, but in a very neutral way, not like being too emotional and things like that. So that is Venus in Scorpio for Capricorn sign. And next we'll talk about Aquarius. So Aquarius sign, that means if your rising sign is Aquarius, that is your Aquarius Lagna, or your Aquarius Rashi, that means your moon is in Aquarius. This applies to you as well. So we're talking about the transit of Venus in the sign of Scorpio from December 24th through January 18th. And so if you see here, this is number 11 signs Aquarius. And for Aquarius, Venus will be transiting through your 8th house. And for Aquarius, Venus is the ruler of the 9th house and the 4th house. Okay, so a big theme for Aquarius is actually something to do with parents. There may be some emotional stuff going on with your parents, with your mother, that's 4th house, and father with your 9th house. So Venus is the ruler of the 4th house and the 9th house, sitting in the 10th house. There may be opportunities to work with your parents on some projects, on some kind of profession, some work. And also be very careful about any emotional drama with respect to your co-workers at your work, in your profession. Just walk away if you sense something is bubbling up or something is being planned or manipulation going on or some secrets going on. Just stay away from all of that. You won't miss anything. Rather, you'll actually gain by not participating, not fueling the fire. And so there may be some attraction at workplace. There may be some like hidden things going on at your workplace. Could be good or bad, but be careful and focus on the wisdom aspect of Venus in Scorpio. Like Venus in Scorpio gives you access to hidden wisdom, to esoteric sciences, occult sciences. So a great time to study spiritual things as with the aim of making that as your profession, as your work, as something you'll do in the broad daylight. And so, but there's a possibility of a lot of emotions at play here. So if you can stay away or above the emotional aspect, emotional drama, then it's a great time to be very creative and dive deep into spiritual wisdom as a profession or with your mother and your father. Also could be with your gurus or your superiors, your sangha. So that's Venus in Scorpio for Aquarius sign. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And next one is Pisces. So Pisces is, if you see here, number 12 sign. So you could be Pisces rising, which means your Lagna is Pisces, or you could be Pisces moon sign, which is Rashi. this applies to you as well. So we're talking about the transit of Venus in the sign of Scorpio from December 24th through January 18th. And as you can see, Venus is transiting through your ninth house if you're a Pisces sign, in the sign of Scorpio. So Venus transiting the ninth house in Scorpio, and Venus is the ruler of the eighth house, and Venus is the ruler of the third house. Okay. So a lot of change, transformation is possible. Eighth house ruler in the ninth house, and that may actually lead you to some new kind of path in terms of your dharma. You may discover a path for your dharma. It could be new or it could be existing, but some change, transformation happening in your spiritual path, in your belief system. But also be cautious about any kind of emotional drama with your gurus, with your teachers, with your superiors, with your sangha, and also could be with your siblings. That's the third house. Third house ruler in the ninth house in Scorpio. See, Venus is Scorpio in general, very deep emotions and connections, and could be sexual attraction and secrets going on, manipulation, a lot of attraction towards other people, and but also hidden wisdom. So you want to focus on the positive aspects of it. Stay away from negative stuff possible, which is like secrets and manipulation and like instant attraction towards other people, a lot of passion. So stay away from all of that, but focus on all of the churning, all of the change and transformation promised by the eighth house ruler sitting in the ninth house. But it's a good placement where eighth house ruler has come at the feet of the guru, right? So ninth house is the house of the guru. So focus on spiritual development, very deep spiritual work. You'll discover some hidden wisdom. That's Scorpio, pearls of wisdom from the bottom of the ocean. So lots of positive things, lots of very powerful energy here, Venus in Scorpio. So that's Venus in Scorpio for Pisces sign. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Namaste.